Top of the morning to everybody. Straight to the point. Sports and entertainment. Uh, please hit that like button and sub to the channel if you are not a member, and hit those notifications too. Uh, Shouts out to the whole entire LDBC, Lions Den, basketball, and boxing community, and salute to all of the people that rock with me. Um, and if you don't rock with me, hey, I'm cool with that too. As long as you do your job on your end, your best job to continue to destroy and detour what your boy got going on. Uh, all hate is welcome. I really want all hate. Any type of negativity that that you try to bring. Hey, come with it, man. We always ready here. Um, Here early in the morning to talk about the aftermath of the Gavante Tank Davis and Lamont Roach fight. Now, before I get this video started, man, let me give a shout out to some of the LDBC brothers. I want to give a shout out first and foremost to the brother of 78 Sports, um, Blue Blood, Sports TV, or Blue Blood Boxing. I'm sorry, TV. I also want to give a shout out to um, the brother Carcino for Life, um, and Ticket TV Boxing, Too Raw for TV, Town Biz, and I think that whoever I miss, man, appreciate it. Whoever covers boxing, man, I want to give y'all a shout out too. All right, so yesterday, man, we witnessed a classic robbery. Okay, this was a classic robbery, and I had some people that had the audacity to tell me that Tank was winning the fight. I had people with the audacity to tell me that Tank was winning that fight. First off, I want to give a shout out to Lamont Roach. Okay, um, he had an excellent display of uh, good use of the counter. Okay, I think he took a page out of Terrence Crawford's book because he had an answer for everything. Lamont Roach had an answer for everything. It was like the tricks that Tank was trying to pull. They weren't working on him, and the fact that he was laying hits on Tank that was making Tank stumble. Okay, and you see from the thumbnail too that and the world saw it. The world saw Tank was clearly not ready for this fight. Okay, uh, you could tell that Lamont Roach, uh, he he was more prepared for this fight. He and shout out to Monty Brown TV too. Man, how could I forget? I went and hollered at Monty Brown TV. If you're not sub to Monty Brown TV, definitely go sub to Monty Brown. But he got outclassed, and I mean Lamont Roach controlled this fight. Just from looking at it now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought, you know, Tank was gonna, because that's what everybody was thinking. Tank was gonna go in there and he was gonna do what he does, because that's what Tank usually does. He'll lose the first few rounds or start off pretty slow, whatever it is, and then next thing you know, he'll turn it on later. He couldn't do that in this fight. That wasn't gonna happen in this fight. Um, the fact that he came in there and he took Lamont Roach lightly, that that shows you that you can't underestimate your opponent. Even though that Tank has been in the sport for quite some time, you never underestimate your opponent, and I think that that's what Tank did. And you got to realize he was talking like I think Carcino was saying from what I saw, what he was saying last night. He was saying that Tank was running his mouth at the press conference and stuff like that, which he was, and it backfired on him. It backfired on him. This was not a draw, man. This was not a draw. Not only did he get exposed, okay, and um, they put everything out there to see. Okay, this is really the blueprint. Because I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say this too. Frank Martin, Frank Martin, he actually gave the blueprint to beat Tank. The only difference with Frank Martin is that he got up against the ropes and he made a mistake, and that's what ended up ending the fight. But actually, if you go back and you go look at that Frank Martin fight, he actually did a pretty good job, holding it down up until that knockout. And I think that Frank Martin gave the blueprint to really beat Tank. And in a way, also, I know this might sound weird. Pitbull did too. Isaac Cruz, he did too. As crazy as it sounds, because you got to realize that Isaac Pitbull Cruz, he didn't get knocked down. But like we've said, let Tank get into the ring with somebody that can actually meet his talent level, and that's what he did, and he exceeded his talent level too. Also, this is another thing. He's not ready for Shakur. All these guys are sitting up here, and this makes me even uh more amped to talk about this. Shakur Stevenson would dance circles around him, and I think that Devin Haney. Now he wouldn't. I don't think Devin Haney would knock him out. I don't even think Shakur would knock him out, but they would get their shots in there, and they're slick. What's his name was very slick. Lamont Roach. He was real slick, and he didn't bend, break, or fold with anything that Tank tried to bring to him. Like this was a fight. If you looked at I know that Tank is not big or anything like that, but this was actually a David and Goliath type of deal, because everybody was expecting Lamont Roach to get knocked out in the eighth and all this other stuff. I said, nah, this guy is different. I could tell by his stance. I could tell by his precision on his hit, and we all know he got robbed. In my opinion, he got robbed like 2 to 3 times in that night. There should have there should have been. What's up, Bookie Allen? How you doing? There should have been, okay, on when he took a knee. There should have been a standing, like there should have been some counting involved. Okay. Um, he was getting away with low blows. He got a he he was getting frustrated. He was frustrating Tank because he hit him with his shoulder. When he got close to him, he hit him with his shoulder, man, like doing little dirty tactics because he was upset. You could clearly see that Tank was not under control, and that's the difference between Tank, a guy like Tank, Devin Haney, and Shakur Stevenson, especially Shakur Stevenson. They are always under control, even though that you may not like Mayweather that much. Some people might not be a fan of Mayweather. Mayweather was always under control, man. He was always under control, and that's why he was able to get those fights that he won. But this was a robbery. Um, Lamont Roach, he in my book, you know what I'm saying, he gained a lot of people's respect. Now, on the flip side, what does Tank need to do? Just go ahead and run it back. If you felt like um, like people feel like you lost. So if you're feeling that way and you're hearing what the people say, you need to run it back. That's the only way that you're going to gain people's respect back. Now, it's going to be tough because now they've already got film on you. They got the blueprint pretty much, and like Bookie Allen was just saying, you got exposed, and so now it becomes a thing of, okay, you can't do what you tried to do that previous fight. I want people to understand, man. I don't have anything, against Tank, man. I think he's a great fighter, but this one right here, he lost. He took an L, and I've always said that guys like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, they would beat Tank because it's not like Tank is just gonna come in and automatically have his merry little way with them. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. And everybody's always talking. They're trying to compare Tank to Mike Tyson. What rounds you gave Roach? Um, let's see. I gave him. I gave him. I know I gave him the first. I would say the second, third, uh, the fifth, seventh. If we're being real, NPR, it would to me, and this is, I'm just being real. This is my opinion for what I saw. I had it I had it 8 rounds to 4. I had it 8 rounds to 4. I had it 8 rounds to 4, man, because his counter ability, man, was on point. He was sharp, man, and he didn't look phased by any of those punches. And the fact that when he was countering, like when he was landing his shots, he was getting clean shots on Tank, and that's to me, that's what really gets the fight, in terms of when you fight a champion, or you're trying to take a champion down, or you're the underdog and you're trying to beat the guy that everybody says that is gonna beat you or whatnot. That right there gets it for me. And on top of that, you know, you got to realize he took a knee, and pretty much when you're taking a knee, you're saying, okay, hey, look, it's pretty much a knockdown. Yeah, out. Well, I know you said outfoxed, but yes, he outboxed him, and he outclassed him too. You know, he frustrated him. More importantly, I'm gonna say this, NPR. He frustrated him. You saw Tank getting frustrated. He was coming with the low blows. Just go back and go look at the fight. But like I said, I had it 8 rounds to 4. Now, I I would have gave it like at first when I was first looking at it, it was about seven rounds to 5. But after because I went back and I looked at it again, and I was just looking at the counters. If you go back, even the rounds that he lost, Lamont Roach had an answer for everything. And another thing is he was way better defensively. That's why, like, I feel like if Tank fights um, Shakur Stevenson, he's gonna struggle with Shakur in terms of the defense. So yes, um, I felt like he did dominate it. He did dominate Tank, and like I said, man, he's still a good fighter and everything. Tank is, but um, the fact of the matter is that Tank, he clearly lost this fight, and if you're a Tank fan, you can't get mad if somebody says that Tank dominated the fight. You can't get mad at that because it's the truth. And he didn't necessarily need to dominate by knocking him out or anything like that. The fact that he outboxed him and the fact that he had better defense than him, that tells you everything. That tells you everything. So, um, now Tank, what he's gonna have to do, man, and I'm talking to people that are hardcore Tank fans and stuff, and also to Tank, what he's gonna have to do is he's gonna have to run that back in order to, because now people are looking at you, people are looking at you differently. I'm not gonna lie, they're looking at you differently. They're like, okay, well, and I never, like I told you, I never looked at Tank as, oh, he can't be beat or anything like that. I've never looked at Tank like that. I've always said he can't be beat. People looked at me crazy when I said that Shakur Stevenson can beat Tank, and this is how. Lamont Roach Lamont Roach uh, did the same thing that pretty much Shakur Stevenson did. The only difference is that Lamont Roach was not a southpaw. He was a regular orthodox stance. Um, I'm gonna talk about Philly real quick. The Philly 76ers, man. Look, man. Last night we beat Golden State. And I've been raving about Golden State over the over the past a couple weeks. I have because Jimmy, but they didn't have Jimmy Butler last night. They took a L. But shout out to Quentin Grimes, who put up 44, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Nobody expected Quentin Grimes to come out there and do what he did. Um, and then also we got to look at this too. Quentin Grimes, man, being now Nick Nurse got a decision to make. being that he put up 44 points, he's like, we got a guy here. They can build on something because now it's a new look, and that's why I said, do I think that we could mess around and get the playoffs? If we keep doing what we do, we go on a little stretch here, we could probably get the play in. I'm not gonna say playoffs, and then we come with that new youth energy because Quentin Grimes is young. You know, he's only been in the league 4 or 5 years because he played for Detroit, also played for Dallas too. Um, Quentin Grimes, man, this guy right here, man, his energy, and it was a still him coming over from Dallas. You got to realize that he knows championship basketball to a degree. Now he didn't quite get over that hump, or he didn't quite win. They didn't win. The Dallas Mavericks didn't win, but the fact that he's been in the finals, that's some experience there for Quentin Grimes. Um, Another thing is, man, sometimes you just need a new look. Everybody got used to Joel Embiid trotting up and down the court, being lazy, not being ready, and stuff like that. The man could barely move. Um, he limping and stuff like that. Even though he did somewhat solid with New York last season, in the playoffs and everything, that doesn't mean anything. Like we got a guy in Quentin Grimes who's actually been there, who's actually faced, who's been under pressure, facing the Boston Celtics and stuff. And so I think that this is a good look for Philly. Like I said, I know people are like, yeah, go when they shut Joel Embiid down, go ahead and tank and stuff like that. But for some reason, man, I just can't do that, man. I just can't do that. I don't like to tank. I don't like to give up. I don't, I like to keep things going, man. Why give up? You're in this league for a reason. If all of us were gonna do tanking all the time, every time we lose a superstar or we lose our main player and stuff, then what is the reason for us playing, man? Nah, you gotta play. You gotta play until and until the season's over with, man. And don't be doing all that stuff where, oh yeah, well, our superstar is gone. So, we might as well tank and try to. Nah, man. I don't believe in that. You want to play because you never know what could happen. Anything can happen in this league. Now, I'm not saying that being that we in the 11th, 12th, or a low seed or anything like that, and we're going to come back and win the championship or anything like that. But you could damn sure try. You could damn sure try. So shout out to Quentin Grimes for putting up 44 points, and shout out to Philly for beating the Golden State Warriors. Even though we didn't have Jimmy Butler, I'm not going to put too much stock in it. That's why I really didn't talk about it too much, besides the fact that I was paying attention to the tank fight too. But y'all let me know what you think, man. Leave your comments. Make sure you like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notifications too. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. Shouts out to the whole entire LDBC. I'm going to be speaking with y'all later.